5 companies control the AI your doctor uses, the satellites above your head, the search results shaping your opinions, and the cloud infrastructure storing the secrets of virtually every government and corporation on Earth. They are more powerful than most governments. Their combined market value exceeds the GDP of every country except the United States itself. And most people interact with all 5 of them before they finish their morning coffee, without once stopping to think about how deep that influence runs. Today, we count down the top 5 most valuable companies quietly running the world. Welcome to Fresh Top 5. To put these valuations in perspective, the 5 companies on this list have a combined market capitalization of over $16 trillion US. The entire GDP of China, the world's second largest economy, is approximately $18 trillion. We are talking about 5 private companies run by small groups of executives with the economic weight of an entire superpower. Coming in at number 5, Alphabet Inc., the parent company of Google. With a market capitalization of approximately $2.3 trillion, Alphabet is the 5th most valuable company on Earth. But raw valuation barely scratches the surface of what makes this company so extraordinary in its reach. Google controls over 90% of the world's internet searches. Think about what that actually means. Every question you have ever typed into a search bar, every product you have ever researched, every news story you have ever clicked on, that entire information pipeline runs through one company. But Alphabet is not just Google Search. It owns YouTube with 2.7 billion monthly users, the 2nd most visited website on Earth. It owns Android, the operating system running on over 3 billion active smartphones globally. It owns Google Maps, Google Cloud, Google Ads, Google Workspace, and DeepMind, one of the most advanced artificial intelligence research labs in the world. Alphabet is not a search company. It is an information empire. Here is the number that should make you pause. Alphabet and Meta together capture 2/3 of all digital advertising revenue on the entire internet. If you have ever seen an ad on a website, there is a very strong chance that Alphabet is taking a cut of that transaction. They do not just influence what you see, they influence what companies spend money trying to make you see. And with Gemini AI now embedded across all their products, that influence is only accelerating. Number 4, Amazon. Most people think of Amazon as a place to buy things online. That understanding is dangerously incomplete. Yes, Amazon controls nearly 40% of all US e-commerce, more than the next 14 largest online retailers combined. Yes, it has over 200 million Prime members paying annual subscriptions. Yes, it is the world's largest online retailer. But none of that is why Amazon is quietly running the world. Amazon Web Services, AWS, is the cloud infrastructure running roughly 31% of the entire global internet. That includes Netflix, that includes LinkedIn, that includes the CIA and the US intelligence community, who signed a $10 billion cloud contract with Amazon. Government agencies, banks, hospitals, startups, entire national economies run their digital operations on servers owned by Amazon. When AWS had a brief outage in December 2021, vast swaths of the internet went down simultaneously, including smart home devices, delivery services, and news websites. One company, one outage, the internet buckled. Add to that Amazon's Alexa voice assistant inside hundreds of millions of homes, its Ring doorbell cameras creating the largest private surveillance network in American neighborhoods, its pharmacy, its grocery stores, its satellite internet through Project Cooper. Amazon began as a bookstore in a Seattle garage in 1994. Today, it has annual revenues exceeding $700 billion and controls infrastructure that no government has found a way to regulate effectively. That is not a retail company. That is a sovereign power. Number 3, Apple, the most intimate corporation in human history. Apple is not just a company you buy products from, it's a company you carry in your pocket, sleep next to, check first thing every morning, and use to communicate with every important person in your life. Over 1.2 billion active iPhones, 1 billion active Macs, iPads, and other Apple devices, the most loyal consumer ecosystem ever built, and one of the most financially powerful operations on Earth. The App Store is perhaps the most powerful financial toll booth ever constructed. Every app on your iPhone, every game, every subscription, every digital purchase, Apple takes between 15 and 30% of the transaction. 2 million apps, hundreds of billions of dollars processed annually, and developers have no choice but to accept those terms because there is no other way to reach Apple's billion-plus users on iOS. The U.S. Department of Justice sued Apple over exactly this monopolistic behavior. The case is still ongoing. But what makes Apple's power truly unique is the psychological hold. Apple customers do not just buy Apple products, they identify with them. The Apple logo is one of the most recognized symbols on Earth, more so than many national flags. When Apple releases a new iPhone, people queue overnight in cities on every continent. That is not consumer behavior, that is devotion. Apple's services division, including Apple Pay, Apple TV+, iCloud, and the App Store, now generates over $100 billion a year, more than many Fortune 500 companies earn in total revenue. Number 2, Microsoft. If Amazon is the infrastructure of the internet, Microsoft is the infrastructure of the corporate world. Over 1.5 billion people use Microsoft Office globally: Word, Excel, PowerPoint, Outlook. These are not just software products, they are the operating language of every government, every law firm, every hospital, every school, and every business on Earth. You cannot function in the modern professional world without engaging with Microsoft's tools at some level. That is not market dominance, that is civilizational dependency. But Microsoft's most consequential move of the last decade was its investment in OpenAI, the company behind ChatGPT. Microsoft committed over $13 billion to OpenAI, making it the primary investor and cloud partner of the most transformative AI technology since the internet itself. ChatGPT's AI is now embedded into Microsoft Word, Excel, Outlook, Teams, and Azure, meaning Microsoft's 1.5 billion users are the primary distribution for the AI revolution. They did not just invest in AI, they put AI inside every tool that the world's professionals already use every day. Azure, Microsoft's cloud platform, holds approximately 21% of the global cloud market, second only to AWS. That includes the cloud infrastructure for the U.S. Department of Defense, NATO allies, and financial institutions across 60 countries. Microsoft's LinkedIn controls the world's largest professional network with 1 billion members, and their gaming division, Xbox and Activision Blizzard, made them the world's third largest gaming company overnight with a $69 billion acquisition. Microsoft is not a software company, it is the nervous system of the global economy.
And the most valuable company quietly running the world in 2025? Nvidia. This one surprises people. Not Apple, the company with 1 billion iPhones, not Microsoft, the company whose software runs the corporate world, not Amazon, the company that owns the internet's infrastructure. Nvidia, a semiconductor company founded in 1993 by Jensen Huang in a Denny's diner, a company most people outside the technology world had barely heard of 5 years ago. Today, it is the most valuable company on Earth, worth more than $4 trillion. Here is why Nvidia sits at number 1. Artificial intelligence, the most consequential technology in human history, cannot exist without one thing: graphics processing units, GPUs. And Nvidia controls over 80% of the global AI chip market. Every AI model you have ever interacted with, ChatGPT, Google Gemini, Grok, Claude, Meta AI, was trained on clusters of Nvidia chips. The hospitals using AI to detect cancer, the banks using AI to detect fraud, these self-driving cars, the military surveillance systems, the climate models, all of it runs on Nvidia silicon. Jensen Huang has been called the most important CEO on Earth because without his chips, OpenAI cannot train its models, Google cannot run Gemini, Amazon cannot power AWS's AI services, Meta cannot run its recommendation algorithms. Nvidia is the arms dealer of the digital age, and everyone fighting the AI war is buying from the same single supplier. In 2024 alone, Nvidia's revenue grew by 122% year-on-year, the fastest growth of any company of its size in Wall Street history. And Nvidia is not stopping at chips. Its CUDA software platform has created a lock-in that rivals Apple's ecosystem. Its Omniverse platform is building the digital twin of the physical world, simulating factories, cities, and climates before they are built. Its partnership with every major car manufacturer is putting its chips inside autonomous vehicles. By 2030, Nvidia's chips may be inside your phone, your car, your home, your hospital, and the satellites overhead. A company that started making graphics cards for video games is now the most powerful private company on the planet. Nvidia, Microsoft, Apple, Amazon, Alphabet, 5 companies, combined market value of over $16 trillion. Between them, they control the AI powering your world, the cloud storing your data, the device in your hand, the search results shaping your understanding of reality, and the infrastructure every other company on Earth depends on to function. The question is not whether these companies are powerful. The question is whether any government, any law, or any democratic institution has the tools to hold that much private power accountable. Drop your thoughts in the comments. We want to know what you think. Subscribe to Fresh Top 5, new Top 5 every week.